Hello and welcome to this educational video series where I'll be covering the basics of how to reproduce your original artwork onto beautiful Canson digital papers. My name is Robert Rodriguez Jr. and I've been a Canson Infinity ambassador for 10 years, primarily as a photographer and a fine art printer, but I'm also a painter, so I'm really excited to share with you a beginner's guide to making fine art reproductions that you can share or sell in a wide variety of sizes and formats that current technology offers. Now, reproducing your artwork lets you explore a wider range of creative options from, say, small personal note cards to limited editions that allow your art to reach a much wider audience. Now, I'll be discussing how best to photograph your artwork, including cameras and lighting, how to edit and color correct your files, including the best software to use, and finally, how to print your work using the latest archival digital printers. And the final step is choosing a great paper, and Canson Infinity's fantastic and versatile range of fine art papers can really make your artwork come alive. Finally, I just want to emphasize that this series is meant for those who want to do this from start to finish at home or in their studio on a fairly limited budget with smaller pieces of art, maybe 16 by 20 at the largest. It's not meant to replace a dedicated print studio that offers professional scanning and printing services. In fact, if you do need higher end services at any step, Canson certified print labs are a great place to go, and you can find them in your area by using the Find a Lab menu on the Canson website. Now, before we get started, let me give you a broad overview of all the steps involved and the equipment that you'll need. I'll cover each of these steps in separate videos to make them easier to digest without becoming overwhelmed with information. I'll be using and recommending Canon cameras and printers, but the concepts can be applied regardless of whatever equipment you have or you use or you decide to purchase. Now, to photograph your artwork, you'll want the best camera that you can afford, but you don't need any more than, say, 20 megapixels to make up to 16 by 20 prints. Any decent DSLR will work, and I'll also show you how you can even use a late model iPhone like an 11 or a 12, especially for smaller prints like note cards. Lighting, of course, is really important, and thanks to the latest technology in LED lights, you can buy a pair of LED softboxes that are very color accurate, they're adjustable, they're easy to move around, they're easy to store when you're not using them. The kit I use is approximately $200, making them very affordable and worth the investment. You can use them for portraits as well. You'll need software to manage, edit, and print your artwork, and for that I use and recommend Adobe Lightroom Classic, which is compatible with Mac, with Windows, with all tablets and iPhones. I'll also cover the Canon Professional Print and Layout software, which is included with all Canon cameras. And finally, the last step, printing, right? And museum quality printing has come a long way in the past 20 years. Printers are better than they've ever been, as well as being the most inexpensive they've ever been. Canon printers in particular produce great quality prints, they're easy to operate, and they fully support Canson papers. Now, I'll be using the Canon Pro 300, which is about $900 at your favorite online retailer. We'll also need great paper, and Canson's fine art papers are great in their ability to reproduce vibrant color, contrast, and detail without using artificial whiteners, which degrade longevity. You can expect prints that you make at home to last upwards of 200 years based on the latest longevity tests using proper UV protection. And this is super important for limited edition prints if that's something that you want to consider. Now, to achieve those longevity ratings, you'll also need great archival ink, which the Canon printers that we recommend have. But if you don't have a Canon printer, that's fine too, as other manufacturers also use archival inks. And as I said before, my goal here is to make the information I share as universal as possible. Now, I'll be discussing Canson papers in much greater detail when we get to the printing stage, including what makes Canson papers unique and perfect for reproductions, how to choose the best paper for your work, and we'll explore the new Arch digital papers, which are really special and exciting in terms of the results that you can achieve. Now, I've been printing my own photography for over 15 years, but it's only recently that I've started reproducing my paintings, and I find it a great way to share my work with others, mostly as gifts and note cards, which I really enjoy doing, but without compromising the value of my originals. So if you're interested to explore these creative opportunities and go on this journey, let's get started.